An introduction to individual supply. Hello, I am Thiru, and in this session we will have a look at the basics of individual supply. Supply can be defined as the quantity of a good or service that producers plan to sell at each possible price during a certain period. Supply refers to planned quantities. In other words, the quantities that producers plan to sell at each price. Just like demand, supply is a flow concept and can be expressed in words, numbers, graphs, and symbols. Individual supply refers to supply by a single firm. A firm is a unit that employs factors of production to produce goods and services that are sold in the market. The quantity of a good supplied by a single firm in a particular period depends on the price of the product, the prices of alternative products, the prices of factors of production and other inputs, and also expected future prices. With all other things being equal, the higher the price of a good, the greater the quantity supplied, and the lower the price of a good, the smaller the quantity supplied. This is also known as the law of supply. I am sure by now you are wondering why a higher price increases the quantity supplied. This is because suppliers are motivated to supply more, as they will receive more from each unit of the goods supplied. The relationship between price and quantity supplied can be explained as follows. The figure illustrates that more tomatoes are supplied at a higher price. An increase in the price of tomatoes from $4 per kg to $5 per kg increases the quantity supplied from 2,000 kgs to 2,500 kgs. The change in price represents movement along the supply curve, and in our example, this move is from point D to point E. It is important to realize that a change in price does not result in a shift of the supply curve, but rather a movement along the supply curve. But what does a shift of the supply curve look like? Let us look at an example. Whereas the move along the supply curve, S0 from point A to point B, as a result of price rising from $2 to $4, is a change in the quantity supplied. The shift of the supply curve from S0 to the new supply curve S1 represents a change in supply and is caused by change in any factor other than the price of the product. In this instance, any factor that leads to an increase in supply will shift a supply curve downwards to the right. On the other hand, any factor that causes a decrease in supply will shift a supply curve upwards to the left. I hope that you have a better understanding of supply. We have discussed individual supply, the determinants of individual supply, and the law of supply. With the aid of examples, we also illustrated the difference between a movement along the supply curve and a shift of the supply curve. Look out for our next video where we discuss elasticity. Thank you and have a good day.